when we get big games, like at the Emirates, when Arsenal are hosting Manchester City, we don't quite know what to expect. No. And we don't quite know if City might turn up, showed signs with one or two of the new signings coming recent weeks, and they might get a result. Or, Rob, they might get a spanking, as they did 5-1, and Arsenal come out winners in what was an important day, I felt, for Mikel Arteta and his team. Statement win is the kind of in phrase, but I thought it was a belief win. And I think it's a win that marks Arsenal really as the only really serious contender to Liverpool winning the title.
Yeah, it was some game, mate. It's kind of it's a pleasure really to sit and witness that and to see the emotion from the stadium and the reaction from the players and the celebration from the players and the quality performances from individuals that we'll get into. And the way the game was affected by the young players of Arsenal, the goals that were scored, the fact that when Earle Haaland scores at 1-1, Rob, soon after half-time, I'm starting to feel nervous for Arsenal. Because City in the first half, after they had a terrible start, they tried to play out and they gave some bad opportunities away. They were behind. But their football started to not dominate, but they started to get comfy as the away team starting to play. They get the equalising goal. And then you're a little anxious for Arsenal. But as I said afterwards, I didn't see that coming, that Arsenal went to a whole new level, Rob. They went to a whole new level that blew away Man City, that blew them away. And the little details that we've said about Man City for a long time now, missing Rodri, missing new players, missing defence, missing being able to keep the ball as well as they normally do, that all came home to roost in the last 30 minutes or so, where Arsenal's physicality, youth, desire just took over the game. And as I said to Rebecca, Rob, I feel like when Arsenal are at their best, they're spreading the goals around. They spread them around today, Rob, that, you know, they don't really want to have to rely on one player's going to get 20, 25 goals, as other teams maybe do. Goals from different areas, performances that we'll get into from certain individuals that was just next level. And I'll start, Rob, before I throw it back to you. The back four of Arsenal, I am loving more and more. Yurian Timber is he looks $1 million. Super aggressive, quick, good defender, really good going forward. Gabriel and Saliba, we ain't got to talk about those.
No.
And Myers Lewis-Skelly, that we will talk about, looks comfortable, gets his goal. Fans love him. He's powerful. God, that's a back four. Anyway.
He's more than comfortable, mate. He's more than comfortable. Let me tell you. And by the way, and the goalkeeper behind them, who doesn't always get the credit, and I've been one of them who at times, Rob, said, I'm not sure if he's quite
me
level.
Too at the beginning.
Come up with a couple of brilliant saves, and Tim Howard did, with you, did a couple of really good breakdowns on just what that is and the balance and the reaction and the timing. So you're right, mate. I'm with you. What happened for me after 60 minutes in the game, Rob, was that Arsenal did to Man City what Man City have done to teams over the years. Their possession of the football took over the game and dominated the 30 minutes of football that was at another level, that was at City-esque level. One of the things I was thinking about for Arsenal going into this game is not only do there's a double kind of jeopardy for Arsenal. The jeopardy first is to get their business done, to get the points to win. And the second bit is about, really, they're the only team who are going to chase Liverpool down. So they've got to do that to keep Liverpool honest and keep a title race. So you talked, I think the backs and you and Tim talked a little bit about emotion and edge and things at the beginning of the season. And I felt that in the stadium that was going to be important. And it kind of came out as that, like to that 60 minutes. I think everybody got a sense like, at 1-1, and then City's football started. Marmoush started to have a little influence. Foden's influence in the game got better, and you started to think, this could be a problem. And then Arsenal went again, and it was so important. They did go again, Rob, for them, for the team, for the manager, for the sets of fans, for Kai Havertz, who possibly looked like he lost his nerve on the first chance he has. Important for him to get his goal and be a part. And it's interesting, Rob, that you've said about the goals being spread out, and they are, and it was almost atypical Arsenal performance. We don't hear nothing about the number 9 today, Rob, the guy who's up front. And let me chuck a contrast to you where Man City have got the guy up front, the 20-goal-a-season man. Do you know for 37 minutes of that game, Erling Haaland never touched the ball?
I know.
I read 37 minutes of a game. Yeah. Now, what I would say, Robert, to Arsenal fans and people who keep saying, they need a 10, they need a finisher. Arsenal's football and dominance comes from their ability and their possession and their build-up. And I think if you take a man out of that, almost in the Haaland-esque, who isn't going to get too involved, he doesn't come and show to midfield players and link the play. He just waits at the end of the thing. I don't think Arsenal are the same team. I don't think Arsenal have the same danger. I'm not sure Arsenal have the same possession. So I think the team that they've got and the way they've got, they're not short of goals, Rob, this Arsenal team.
No.
They can get goals, but they're going to come from different places around the team and not be reliant on the 20-goal-a-season Haaland-esque striker that Manchester City have.
And also players that, Rob, in this game as well, that have been a little bit maligned, and sometimes not fancied. This isn't, I think the goalkeeper and the back four are the very best that they can put out there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But you got Martinelli that's been, some people are not sure about him. 6 goals. Trossard's been really good, but again, people, and the next player I'm going to talk about, Rob, is, again, I think the fans will feel like, if he goes, that's fine. Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey had a game today. Thomas Partey, when he plays well, he looks amazing. He really, really does. There's lots of times when he looks a little lazy, Rob, a little sloppy. His game's a little slow. But when he's at his best, God, he's enough important, And he got his goal, of course, today. And his general play, he's breaking up the play, he's looking after the ball. His goal was interesting, though. I did a little illustration on our highlight. As the ball is played by Phil Foden. If you watch Thomas Partey, if people out there can rewatch this, I think he's absolutely aware what Phil Foden's going to do with the ball.
He's reading it.
He looks at his eyes and he sees Phil look up and he knows there's a player to his right, Partey, and he stays where he is. Go on then. I know you're going to play it. I'm not going to put you off playing it by stepping in the way. I'm going to wait till you get your head down. He puts his head down. He plays the ball. Thomas Partey reads it. Thank you very much. Goes forward and scores a goal. So big deflection, but still a goal. And that was right after Erling Haaland scored. So the reaction after Haaland scored to make it 1-1, I know it came quickly. I know there's a deflection. But Arsenal's kind of, I don't know, mate, the desire and drive of the team that are trying to win a Premier League title, that feel frustrated that Liverpool have been so good that when Man City drop off, it's not them that are at the very top. We spoke about that in the studio today a little bit. And, in terms of what that does for them, Rob, and I'll put it as a question to you, given that performance today and who it was against and the manner of it, does that automatically elevate them onto a different level of performance now that are really, that we know they're waiting for Bukayo Saka to come back, and that might still be a few weeks away. But is there a new level of belief and confidence in what they can do and performance level to continue a really great run?
Absolutely. Yes. Because, Rob, over the years, Man City have had it over Arsenal, and almost like Arsenal with a little brother who tried really hard, but City had it. And Pep would say nice things about Arteta and lovely things about Arsenal, but he'd give them a spanking, Rob, and he beat them. And I think today we saw for the first time an Arsenal team. Listen, we know it's not City in their best form. We know it's City missing a number of players with injuries. But when the game was in the balance, when it got back to 1-1, Arsenal kicked on again in the second half, dominated possession, didn't feel sorry for City, got about their business, Rob. And you talk about Saka's missing, who's their best player, the most productive player. We keep seeing shots of him. Him coming back is going to be a massive bonus. But for the group who are here, Rob, who I think you've talked of in recent weeks, they've hung in a couple of games. Listen, last week against Wolves, down to 10 men, they found a way, they hung in and they got a 1-0 win, which was just as important as a 5-1 win today. Yeah. Those results, Rob, are the belief that they can get this done. And I want to talk about one young man and two, Miles Lewis-Skelly, who scored the third goal, which was, I thought, the moment of the game, the moment the game changed. He gets the ball from Rice, gets slapped to him on the half turn, the back space, what they call it now. He gets in, he shows left foot, he goes right foot, he bends it in. And Rob, for all the transfer window's closing tomorrow night, and, there's millions of dollars been spent and millions of dollars are going to be spent, you can't quite beat an academy, my friend. And when you were developing Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri, who came on and scored a beautiful goal, Salah-esque, Saka-esque, my underappreciated performance of the week goes to the Arsenal Academy. It's run by Per Mertesacker, used to be the centre-back, who takes a job really, really importantly in terms of developing Rob. And the lift that those two players have given, as well as the performance, as well as the 100 million you spend on a Declan Rice, who's outstanding and a great role model, but to bring these kids in, and to be honest, this Lewis-Skelly kid, by the way, Rob, what is he, 18 years of age or 18, something?
Yeah.
I mean, is ready.
Yeah.
People are talking like he's Ashley Cole-esque. Maybe Ashley was a more athletic, maybe a little bit more nimble, but this boy can play. He's powerful. Doesn't look like he gets overawed. The sort of left foot feint to go right foot to score is top class quality technical ability. He's got a nice way about him. He's got a connection with the fans. I just think, Rob, on in a time when PSR is important now, and we know that homegrown players have a cachet, Arsenal and what they're developing, and that's not forgetting Saka's and Martinelli's and the others who are coming through the ranks. On a day like today, with all the big noise and all the fanfare, that academy, mate, has served them well.
Yeah, it's 1,000,000% agree. I mean, it's such an underestimated part of a football club that you can save so much money if you develop your own. There's a connection with the club, Rob, when you've been through the academy. Often they're, local kids are Arsenal fans. Not always. It's impossible to get a total academy full of those guys. But it's a great point, and it's a valid point. There's been players, Smith Rowe and Iwobi and a few others that have come through in recent seasons. And if they don't make it in the first team or...
Nketiah is an example, isn't he? And then they sell him for good money to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, but the ultimate is to be effective players in the first team. Not just players that can hold up their own and do okay, but players that can be really key parts of the team. And Lewis-Skelly, absolutely right. There's nothing more I enjoy, and I've only been saying this recently, is when Miles Lewis-Skelly picks up the ball, right, Rob, around the halfway line, and he's looking up, and there might be a couple of options passing. He might have an outside or might go back centre-back. But he gets the ball, and he runs through the middle. He dribbles through the middle. He runs away out of trouble, out of pressure, out of a press, by not dribbling, but just pushing the ball forward and running through the lines. His acceleration, awareness, strength, because there's often he gets buffeted going through there. But when I see him do that, that's special, and that doesn't half help when you can break a line of players, then you're on the front foot. It's a great shout. Nwaneri as well, the confidence that he's got now, the way that these two are going to grow with this team, it's like a couple of spectacular signings that you pay a lot of money for that look really, really good, that you're thrilled about. Well, you have that with young players coming through the academy. So that, and then times 10, given the connection with the club and the history with the club. So it's a really good shout, Rob. Just before we move on, let's have a quick line of Man City, because there was moments where I thought some of their football was good. There was some good football. Pep said that he was really happy up to about an hour. Then they fell away. Maybe they had to give more in their Champions League game to get into the knockout stage or the playoffs now that they're in, compared to Arsenal that can coast a little bit more, make a few more changes. Have they stopped the rot? Are they moving forward, or are they still such a long way away from what we're used to seeing?
I think they're in like a holding pattern, mate. To be totally honest, it's not as loose and kind of fragile as it was, but I don't think it's anywhere near as robust as what it needs to be. No, I think it's a holding pattern. And I guess, Rob, between now and the end of the season, that might be the case. What I tend to think, what Pep is going to try and do, and I saw him do an interview today, and he said, some of our players are getting older and tireder, and the manager's getting older and tireder. And I just wonder, Rob, whether he's going to pick specific days, specific moments when he's going to ask for everything. And other days maybe sort of accept that it ain't going to be the same. And I've looked, Rob, just at their next few fixtures I just wanted to go to.
It's difficult,
They got Madrid in the...
They got FA Cup next, Cup. Yeah, Leighton they went away, Leighton
went away. Real Madrid at home in the Champions League. Newcastle United at home in the Premier League. Away at Real Madrid, second leg of the Champions League. At home to Liverpool in the Premier League. Away to Spurs in the Premier League, mate. Right there could decide where. And I mean, at this stage, knowing the team as they are, if there's a fragility against Real Madrid, and we know what Real Madrid, how they can get the business done, Man City might need to be top 4 to get I mean, well, actually, could go to 5, but might need to be top 4, top 5 to get Champions League football next season.
Yeah. And I think that'll be on the mind of the club now. They need to be. I think it is going to be 5. Apparently, the English team getting an extra place in the Champions League based on is looking good, given the qualifying and the group stages of these European competitions. So it's likely to be 5. I think they'll probably do that. They've got new players that have come in, but they're definitely going to go through transition. The club have got money to spend. They haven't spent a ton, have they, over the last recent seasons, really? I don't think. No,
not so much. I mean, you were going to leave on there. People are going to leave as well. It's the whole chemistry needs change. And again, mate, just one for you there that I heard somebody say that Manchester City have conceded more Premier League goals than Manchester United. I mean, just incredible, isn't it?
I know.
However bad United have been.
Yeah.
Man City are 4th,
Yeah. I mean, what a game though, mate. What a blimmin' game that was. And when we're coming back into the studio, like, I think I'm still smiling because it's such a great game to see. It's like, wow, it's an absolute honour to be able to react to these games and the way that they played Arsenal, and fair play, mate. They're keeping Liverpool honest, as you said, and we'll see. But that was some level they reached today. It's a brilliant victory, 5-1, Arsenal against Manchester City.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And if you want even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.